Now, over the last week, we've seen, a lot of bad things going on. And, but I want people to keep in mind that common sense, people. I mean, I know people are angry. There's a lot of people out there that hate Trump. There's a lot of people out there that hate the Democrats. But he has got, today is the 13th, he has got 7 days left. And Nancy Pelosi and probably the majority of Congress want to impeach President Trump. They have called on Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th. And it's just mind-blowing to me that with 7 days left in this man's presidency, now they've been trying to do this for the last few days, that there's so many people out there, and I've seen a lot of posts on different videos where people are talking about we're struggling, we're hurting. A lot of people are angry and upset because they only got a $600 stimulus package, check per person, per dependent. A lot of people still hadn't got their stimulus checks. But instead of Congress, now, like I said, I know people are angry. I know people are upset. But instead of Congress worrying about impeaching a man that's only got 7 days left, even if they do get it passed in the House to impeach him, which would be the second time, Nancy Pelosi hates Donald Trump. She has done nothing but fight him for the last 4 years. Think how much more he could have done for this country if Nancy and the Democrats would have stood behind him and helped him. Instead of playing left, right, liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, they're up there to do a job. And we all know there is proven fact that this country was just flourishing over the last 3.5 years up until the pandemic. Unemployment rates down all across the board. Whether you was black, white, Hispanic, Asian. There was no reason for anybody before this pandemic started to say they couldn't find a job. There's no reason for anybody to say they couldn't make more money because of the policies that President Trump put into play. But people are so just hell-bent on just hating Trump to the very end, when many of you out there actually watch some of his television shows, The Apprentice. I mean, there's things, even some of you celebrities out there, before Trump become president, y'all loved the man. Y'all was going to his golf courses. Y'all was doing all kind of things that he had his hands tied in. But when he became president, he said things that wasn't typical of being a politician, because he's not a politician. But he would say things that wasn't typical of a president. So what? I don't think there's any rules that say you have to be a certain way to be president or a politician in general. So many of you hate him because of things that he said. And in all honesty, he really didn't say nothing that bad. But it's the way the media flipped it, portrayed it to where, just like with this last protest, okay? The media has been saying that they're only posting the part where he says, we have to, excuse me, and not my camera off, that we can't take back our capital with weakness. We have to take it back with strength. Then they cut. They don't actually tell you that he said that we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'm going to be with you, and we're going to peacefully protest. That's what the man said. Never, not one time, did that man ever incite a riot. Y'all want to believe he did because many of you don't like him. And y'all don't like them because you've been brainwashed. You're being told not to like them because none of you out there can come up with any reliable reason for you not to like the man, other than you're being told not to like him. You're being told that he was a racist. You're being told that he was hurting the lower class. That's what you was told. Your puppets. Your puppet master standing behind you, which is the Democratic Party, pulling your strings around, telling you which way to go. That's why you choose to hate the man. It's not from your own thinking. It's because that's what you was told to think. Now, my whole channel is about common sense. If something makes sense, it's usually true. If something doesn't make sense, it's usually not. But what I'm getting at here is why. Now, Nancy Pelosi knows there is nowhere near enough time to impeach President Trump. Time they get it passed, time they send it to the Senate, and the Senate has to go through its thing. I mean, there's courses to this, the way this works. You just don't say, hey, he's impeached. It don't work like that. She knows there's not enough time to get him impeached before inauguration day. There's not enough time. So why is she doing it? It's all political. It's just so she can say she got him impeached. That's all she's cared about for 4 years, is impeaching that man. They have lied. They have brought Russia into this. They have pulled every string that they can pull to get this man impeached, and she has failed the entire time. She can't stand it. She's one of them power-hungry people. So what I say to you people is, while millions of Americans are out there struggling, having a hard time paying their bills, and while Congress decided right before Christmas to get a stimulus package passed that was only giving you $600 per person, $1,200 for a married couple, $600 per dependent. And many of you still hadn't received your stimulus. Now that's what Congress did. And the only reason that it got done is because of the omnibus bill that they got passed. They pretty much put it all together. They had to fund the government. They wanted to be able to send millions and millions and billions of dollars overseas. And they knew that they couldn't do that and not give the American people some money. Now for 3 months, the Republican leader of who Trump appointed to be over the stimulus debate had offered Nancy Pelosi $1.8 trillion. She said that wasn't enough. She backtracks on everything she says. She actually done an interview on 60 Minutes. Look it up. I'm not going to post the video. Just look it up. Look up Nancy Pelosi's interview on 60 Minutes. And listen to this dumb woman. She comes up with any excuse. Initially, she told the American people that that wasn't enough. It needed to be bigger. Now, y'all all heard it. But, you know, she told 60 Minutes, after that woman actually even said, well, Nancy, you had a play in it too. You was the one helped holding it back. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. It was them. Because then she started backtracking on why she didn't accept the 1.8. Coming up with other excuses. The woman's full of shit, people. She always has been. Her own leaders were criticizing her. Her own people, not her own leaders, her own people. People in her own party was criticized. Why do you think a handful of Republicans and a handful of Democrats got together to come up with something? But yet, they was dumb enough to re-elect her Speaker of the House. They only did that for their political gain. Just like Republicans are only siding with Democrats on impeaching Trump. They're doing it for their political gain. Our government does not care about us. We have to get conservative people in there. Because, not Republicans. There is a difference between a Republican and a conservative. Big difference. Republicans, the vast majority of the Republicans in there, they only do that for they get paid $5,000 here, $5,000 here. That's how they make their money. How do you think they get so rich? by all these groups and organizations, paying them to get what they want done. That's a fact. They're only allowed to take so much, but that is a fact. Trump didn't receive not one penny from nobody. He didn't even receive a salary. He took the salary, but he donated it. He gave it away. Trump didn't make no money these last 4 years by being president. Not as far as being president. While Nancy Pelosi has made $200 and something thousand a year. Think about that, people. If I'm not badly mistaken, that's her salary. I think it's like $212, $215, somewhere in through there. I think it's per year. That's how much money that woman makes. She makes almost as much as the president does. But Donald Trump give his money. He donated his money. Now, I don't know where he donated it to. It's none of my business. I know he didn't donate it to none of his group. I mean, you know, as far as what he controls, he didn't donate to nothing like that. So, but like I said, she's all focused on getting rid of Trump. Today's the 13th. He's got 7 days. 7 days. He has to move out. Joe Biden's going to be the president. But she's all concerned. She's coming up with a committee to impeach him. Instead of sitting down these next seven days and saying, look, people, let's go ahead and get this stimulus drawn. Y'all know how long it takes to get y'all know how long it takes them to draw up anything. Because it's always going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of pages. So instead of taking this time and going ahead and getting it drawn up, getting everything ready, that way when new Congress, everybody's in full power, which will be probably a few days after Joe Biden's elected president. You know, we got the 2 senators in Georgia. We're waiting on all that. But once the Senate is in full force, she can say, here, it's ready for you. We're ready to help the American people. That's what we was put here to do. We was put here to help the American people. That's what they've been asking. That's what we've been telling you we was going to do. Help you. They have nothing but say that. We want to help, 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 help. Well, why is she wasting valuable time trying to impeach President Trump? Like I said, this whole channel is about common sense. And common sense tells me that that woman does not care about you. If she did, she wouldn't be wasting her damn time right now trying to impeach Trump. Because it's not going to happen. They don't have the time. Now, if this would have happened 2 weeks ago, yeah, maybe. But now, there's not enough time. She's wasting your time trying to further her agenda, trying to be able to say, yes, I got President Trump removed from office. That's all she cares about. She will go down in history. Now, this part is my opinion, because this is how I feel. She will go down in history because she's done had him impeached once. Senate didn't. They didn't vote on it, so he wasn't removed from office. But she did have him impeached. Now she's trying to do it again. Now, if it does go through, if for some miracle they're able to get him impeached by the deadline, she will have done it twice. Now this is all me. This is all my thinking. Now, we all know about Biden and his son being in cahoots with China. There's proof on his laptop. There's evidence. It just had, for some ungodly reason, I don't know why the courts won't look at it. They've had that Hunter Biden's laptop for months. But why? Why ain't you looking at it? But for some reason, this is how I feel. This is what's going to happen. If she does get the House to impeach Trump, will be the second time. Then she's going to actually have Biden impeached. Because if for some reason they do pull up this evidence that they got, which they have, then she's going to say, well, hell, Biden's not, he don't need to be president either. We got to get him out. Then she will go down in history as being the only Speaker of the House to have actually impeached two presidents 3 times. 3 impeachments within 5 years or 8 years. That woman cares only for herself. Wake up, people. Wake up, America. Wake up, liberals. Democrats, you Democrats out there, wake up. They care nothing for you. They never have. They never will. Democrats have turned around and said that Republicans are racist. But history tells us, it's a fact, you can look it up, that the KKK, the people that were going around hanging black people, were Democrats. The parties have not flipped. They are still the same. Look at the Republican Party. Look at some of the things that they do, just like the Republican Party back then. Wake up, America. Because if you don't, we're going to lose this country. We're going to lose our freedom. It's sad. It really is. This is the greatest country in the world. No country. There's no country out there where more people just run to this country because of the freedoms we have than any other country. That proves we are still, even though as screwed up as some of this is, we are still the greatest country in the world. But if we continue to let our politicians just do what the hell they want to do, which is what they're doing, they just do whatever the hell they want to do. They don't have to answer for nothing. They're not held to the same standard we are. They get away with breaking all kind of laws. We get a speeding ticket, a seatbelt ticket. You don't pay that fine, you get locked up. But yet, some of the horrendous things that they do, Hillary Clinton, prime example. I mean, she basically had them people killed. Because she didn't send help in Benghazi. Didn't send it. So she didn't go to court. She didn't even nothing come above it. They just let her off scot-free. Now, if that would have been one of us that done that, a normal citizen, oh God, we'd been in prison for the rest of our life. But because they're politicians, they get away with this shit. We've got to put a stop to it. We've got to put a stand to it. We got to demand that these politicians are held accountable. And I know many of you are going to say, well, Trump started that mob. Trump didn't. Watch the video. Stop watching the news. Get on YouTube and look up that speech. And you will clearly, just watch it. You will clearly see what he said. Yes, he did say those words. But he also, during that same little time frame there, where he was talking about going down there, he was talking about, we're going to go down there peacefully. But the Democrats and even some Republicans, they hate this man so much. The media hates this man so much. They're willing to lie. Perjury. They are lying about this man because they know there's nothing going to get done to him. They know that they can lie about anybody they want without suffering any consequences. The media is protected. They can lie and say whatever they want and get away with it. And that's sad. That if we lie like they do, we get censored. We get our accounts banned. It's sad, people. So all I can say is wake up. I appreciate you watching. If you have watched, I appreciate my new subscribers. If you like my video, give me a big thumbs up. If you don't, give me a big thumbs down. Either way, I just want to get my voice out there with a common sense view of this. Now, I'm not a journalist. I don't have people out there digging up stories. I just take what I see from different platforms. I look at all news groups, Newsmax, they're great. They call it like it is. Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, they're not biased by no means. They tell you like it is. Check them out, people. Newsmax, man, they're great. But we gotta stick together as Americans, because if we don't, we're gonna lose our country, and we're gonna lose it something bad. So, God bless you all. I hope this year's gonna be great for you, and just be safe, people.